Right, so as you guys may know, I went over the KMS Tespia patch notes a while ago, but I never ever went over the actual live server notes. These are already 12 days old. Oh my god, I'm so late. Apologize. But here we go. So that slime thing that we talked about last time, right? Remember with the ring and everything? They're selling for like 10 bill in KMS. They're dropping though. They're going down to 9 bill now. That stuff went into the game. We'll look at the exact details. We'll look at Yeti doing the floss here. He's not really getting the hang of it, but you know, he's trying. A for effort. Alright, they're kicking each other. That's funny. Oh, yeah, they're punching each other again. Oh, he's doing the Slav dance. Slime feels left out. So he's gonna build his own boss with blackjack and hookers. Oh shit! Here we go. Boss+QoL+Boss. Finally, a real boss fight that'll put us on a map and gets us taken seriously. Final Fantasy 26, whatever the fuck. Refugees, you guys are all welcome in MapleStory. We know that game isn't treating you the way we want to be treated. Nexon has got you. Look at this new boss that's coming, all for you guys. So we have the new Angel Slime boss rewards reorganization, blah, 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 lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Enheim defense, protect Esfera, new symbols, all that good shit, and washing machines. You're gonna see a lot of washing machines here. This is what I get for whitelisting this dude. Don't worry, I love you, Max. Okay. So yeah, Guardian Angel slime damage reduction effect has been changed from 50% to 30%. Oh, okay. The groggy state duration has been changed from 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, so it's like a proper kind of bind now. Damage dealt to Guardian Slime during the groggy state has been increased by 10% final damage. Okay, so they made it a whole lot more killable. And the Holy Gates and Magma Slime collision range has been expanded. Good as shit. Holy Gate Slime images has been changed based on the color. Okay. Decrease the damage reduction based effect on Angel Slime as normally, and added a final damage boost effect when you pass the Guardian Wave pattern to make dealing damage easier. In addition, the Holy Gate's design has been changed so that it can be distinguished by factors other than color, so that colorblind players can see the difference easily. Good. Good, good, good. Absolab and Arcane Shade equipment set effect has been changed, so we saw that in the Tespia notes as well. Absolab sets 3 to 5 attack and magic boosts have been changed as shown below. So like the final boosts are basically all the same. Up to 5 set has been changed so that it's not as top heavy anymore. Right, that it's not like 30 boss over here, but it's like divided over the 2 and the 3 set. Alright. And the total amount of attack, I think, has stayed the same, but has been moved moved around a little bit. So what have they changed between the test server and the official server? The magic attack, a little bit lower here, a little bit lower here, and then higher. Okay, so they made it a little bit top heavier than in the test server, but barely. Just 5 attack and 10 attack into the 5 set, so I guess to give more of a benefit to getting the full 5 set, that kind of makes sense. But like, yeah, so 10% boss already at 2 set, 10 extra boss at 3 set, then the IED and the weapon and magic attack at 4 set. For a Shade and the, no wait, this is the Absolab one, right? Yeah. And then for the Arcane one, they took the boss damage here as well, and then the boss damage for 4, boss damage for 5, and then they did the same thing where they took 5 attack off of the 3 and the 4 set, and they just added it to the 5 set. But in essence, the same thing. So basically what this means is that once this change goes live in MapleStory, it's going to be like a while, right? It's going to be like 6 months away from us in GMS. But what happens is that if you're in Absolab and you want to move from Abso into Arcane, if you have one equip that's, well, you're going to start with the weapon most likely, right? Switch that to the weapon and then maybe use the hat to keep the 5 set bonus. And then as soon as you get the second piece, you can immediately switch the hat back to the Sierra hat, for example, and then switch another Arcane piece. Like just switching one piece around will make it so that you know, if you lose the 10% boss here, the 2-step bonus, you get the 10 boss back immediately there, right? So as long as you get one arcane piece, you can immediately switch it in for the Abzo, and you can start working on it and upgrading it further. You don't have to wait until you have the entire set to switch over to get that 30% boss on the 5 set. So that's basically what this whole change is trying to facilitate, that it's not such a huge jump anymore to switch from one to the other. So that's cool. I think in general that's probably a pretty good change. Oh, what are we saying here? So we made certain adjustments in artifacts and transition from level arcane shade equipment. It could be done in stages without a drop in specs. Intentionally in this process, if you equip the Genesis weapon, you would receive the Rudibus 4 set, Meister 4 set, and Absolab and Arcane Shade 4 set, giving you a 20% boss damage boost compared to before. Oh, Absolab or Arcane. I was going to say Absolab and Arcane. There's no way you have so many pieces, right? When considering the individual stats for each item, for Arcane Shade equipment, getting the 5 set effect would increase your specs more than the above equipment set. But for the Absolab equipment, the set above would give slightly more specs than the 5 set. Or to make it more meaningful for players that are currently using 5 set Absolab equipment to transition to higher level equipment, 5 set Arcane, instead of trying to get the above equipment set as our next goal. We have moved the weapon and magic attack, 3/4, yeah. Oh, so I guess they made the weapon attack a little and the magic attack a little bit more in the 5 sets to make it not as OP for people adding the Meister set as well. Of course, in GMS we won't be doing that because we have superior gear, and superior Gollix gear is way better, so there's no reason whatsoever for us to go back into Meister. But in KMS, that's the meta there, so that's why they moved those stats around. Of course, we're going to get these stats, even if we're not going into Meister rather than these, because we'll just copy over what KMS does. We won't get like different things because of different meta. That's not what we get. Following items will be maintained as boss rewards: Potential Scroll, Advanced Potential Scroll, Chaos Fragment, and Twisted Time Essence. Wow, amazing drops. Streamer Project, the item sort lock feature has been improved. If an equipment item is equipped after being locked, then unequipped, it will now maintain its sort lock feature. Oh yeah, so basically what they did is they add, you can click on items to lock them in your inventory, and then if you click sort, it'll only sort the non-locked items. So if you want to keep like a bunch of items on the bottom, you can just lock those in, and then they won't get dragged all the way to the top of your inventory, to make the sort function actually something that you don't have to avoid like the plague, which I think is okay. In NPC shops, the mezzo limit for selling an item has been changed from 2 bill mezzos to 10 bill mezzo. That's pretty crazy. New Boss Guardian Angel Slime, so the new area around the place, what is it, Elodin? No, not Elodin. Are these the, the ruins, the Parcham ruins? That's where Pathfinder is, right? I guess we play these tunes. A little bit more quiet. Ramu Valley. Alright, so this is like the rehashing of what we are already read. We have a Guardian Slime. We battle it. There's statues. There's slimes. You block the doors with the slimes. If you have them all blocked, you go to the other phase. There you block off with the stream. You try to get the stream through one of the doors. Then you stun him for a while, and then you get to deal damage to him for a while. That's basically how it goes. The easy difficulty, if I remember correctly, is in between Lotus and Damien and Easy Lucid. And the hard difficulty is in between Hard Will and Chaos Gloom, Chaos Dark Knell, if I'm not mistaken. At least that's how they mentioned it before, right? And after the stun, you can also bind it. Oh yeah, you could double dip. So the drop is a ring, level 160 ring. That could be interesting for GMS because we have superior rings, of course. We could do a bunch of kind of treasure rings, 22 into a 21 superior, back to 22 into a 21 like this, for example. I don't know how efficient that's going to be. People at that point who have that kind of money, that kind of resources, are probably looking for Oz rings anyway to switch into when bossing and stuff like that. Or they might have Gloom rings and everything. I don't know. So might be more trouble than it's worth. But I guess we'll see once we get it what the actual drop rate and GMS ends up being, and if it's a reasonable thing to equip into and to spec into, or if it's kind of silly. We'll see once we get it. That's part of the boss accessory set too, by the way. In addition, if you kill Chaos Guardian Slime 10 times, you will get the Guardian Angel Crown, a permanent cash hat. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. And the Tobin Hair Warrior is wearing it with pride. That is beautiful. Okay. Developer notes we want to provide a new goal by adding a boss, the Guardian Angel Slime, to the range where the desire to challenge new bosses was decreased because the hurdles to the next stage were too big. Yeah, especially between Lotus and Damien and up to Lucid, right? Guardian Angel Slime, we wanted to provide new fun by providing a mid-step boss and by breaking away from the ignore mechanics and just DPS pattern. We expect that newly added challenge experience will have a positive effect on players with the fun elements of the games you used to enjoy in arcades. The main reward is a new part of the boss accessory set in the ring, blah blah blah. Yeah, they added an extra ring because they don't have that many rings in KMS. Of course, we have all the Golok stuff, and we have Kana Treasure Ring, right? They don't have any of those. So you can imagine that that's not... how long is this song? Jesus. It's almost over. It's loud as fuck. You can imagine that they were kind of hungry for good rings in that slot, so... They're probably clean the Chaos version in the official server. This includes the changes mentioned above, like increased damage and increased hitboxes on the gates.
Should be everything.
What is this? We're finding the new boss, Guardian Angel Slime, Chaos mode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just about done. Yep. Hey, don't forget, don't have your roll on for the first thing because you don't see how long the move takes.
Bling! Oh, he gets transformed because of the crown.
Just in case you guys seduce. Do you have somebody to just bind it right now when it shows up?
What happened to it?
Yeah, you can bind it. Okay, bounce.
No. Ah! It's floating out blind.
That was a lot of damage.
We have the rocks. Oh wait, does it do like the actual damage before the first check? What do you mean HP? No, it doesn't do the actual damage. Is it? I mean, that HP kind of looks like the actual bar. Why is it following me? Oh wait, what? Yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, no, yeah. Huh.
I think you can just normally attack it if you want to. It's just really slow. It's better to try to block the doors and everything, because then it's stunned and then you can do way more damage to it, I think, right? I guess if you're strong enough and you don't want to engage with the mechanics, you can also ignore them.
Everything is blocked. Good. Yeah, just hit the boss. What the fuck is going on? I'm gonna try to bind the boss. What's the boss? Oh my god, let's go. It's just
What chain are we in? Why have we done this to ourselves? We should have been in 30 people.
Pick a bind. Wait. Oh, there we go, yeah. Yeah, just go one floor above it and then you don't get hit by most of the attacks. Oh, I see. It's like a poison. Oh, you can get hit by lasers. Oh, okay. Okay, just leave it. We can just leave it.
Alright, so this is that second phase.
Yeah, that's it.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, that's not going outside, okay.
You have the green guys going down. You can just ride the... You can ride the green slimes down.
I'm gonna die. Shit. Okay. I gotta bind later on. Okay.
Now he's bound for a while. They wail on him. Deal bonus damage during this.
Waiting. Okay, here we go. Bind.
And I guess they can't bind immediately, because he might be bind resist for a little bit.
No, it's not.
Oh, now he's bound, yeah.
It's not.
But you can see like a second bar, like a green bar. I'm not 100% sure on what that is exactly.
I'm gonna use a wall just in case you guys get seduced something, and I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna do the walls. Ah, there we go. Oh, the seduce is map wide. Holy shit.
Because I believe even if this bar goes to 0, he just dies. So I don't know what the significance of the other bar is.
He's a romantic sign, it's seduce. Hey, fast.
Is that Steve I hear?
Yep. Okay, I need about one more at the top, and that's it. Ready to go. I hate this thing. Why does every boss have...
Oh, is that Kobe?
Oh my god, am I gonna be the only one with Cal 5? That count?
No, I feel like about that serious.
Oh, I did the wrong one. Oh shit,
Oh god.
okay, top is blocked.
Okay, top is blocked.
We get one more on the
I'm
left. Yeah.
seduced.
Oh my god, dude, how much damage?
Oh yeah, I hear him
How
now.
much damage you slime?
He seduces as
Okay,
well.
unlock. Yeah,
This is the chaos version though. This is like the hard version of the boss.
You can kill the slimes? Oh, you know, yeah, he heals over time.
This is supposed to be harder than hard will. Oh, he heals over time, so maybe you can heal from here back to there.
Oh, you need me to do line.
That's maybe the significance of the bar, I'm guessing.
Actually, I'll put lines on just in case.
I'll put the only reason mine missed is because I didn't wait for the stun to go away when I should have. So I gotta be on top of like when the sun ends. Imagine I've been like vibing away. Damn you.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Alright, we got 10 seconds. Alright, let's go.
And he's bound
This might
again.
be it. This might be it.
This might be it. We're killing it. Yeah, it's damn, so this was like a. Oh shit. Bounce. Oh, nice. Oh my god, dude. The meme. Oh my god.
Oh
Yo,
my
fucking
god.
kill that cheap one, my guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
kill it,
that's
nice.
fine.
Like,
Let's go.
alright.
Hey,
How is
let's
that
go,
not?
let's go.
How is that not?
Five lives.
Hey, drop it,
Yes.
drop it. Unfortunate, dude. Unfortunate.
Yo, I hate shit. Get me out of here.
Damn.
Yo, thank you, thank you. We've actually played faster than I expected.
What is this? He's missing. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, that shit. Where's that shit?
Just old shit.
Maybe it only shows for the party.
Okay. So that was pretty clean. Then the boss roars reorganization. God, I'm hoping to read something good here, but I didn't have anyone tell me that in the last weeks when I didn't look at this, so it's probably going to be the same dumb non-reboot system probably going to be implemented in reboot as well for no reason other than laziness. Selling price of Intense Power Crystal will now change at regular intervals. Intense Power Crystal price for daily and weekly bosses will change every Thursday at 12 AM. The prices for monthly bosses will change every first day of the month at 12 AM. Intense Power Crystal can be sold for the price that they had at the time they were acquired. You can check the price of currently dropped crystals by talking to the collector NPC and clicking the check prices button. So apparently this is kind of a system. They're increasing the value from 3x to 5x, but because the percentage of Mezzo in GMS non-reboot that comes from crystals is pretty high, they want to make sure that it doesn't negatively impact the economy. So if a boss gets killed a lot and a lot of a certain type of crystal get put into the economy, they want to make sure that they nerf that a little bit by up to 3% per interval. And if it would be, if not too many people kill the boss, then the value of the crystal would go up. This would be like a way to incentivize people to go do a lot of bosses that other people aren't doing, and just in general to not flood the market with too many mezzos. Of course, for non-reboot, you can kind of understand this system, and given what happened in the last year with all of the stuff and the compensation negatively affecting the market and everything in KMS, it's probably a good idea that they're thinking about this contingency. But it's really weird for GMS, of course, because we have reboot being the main server, and like the value fluctuating of the crystals based on like what other people are doing in reboot doesn't really make much sense at all. So, but it doesn't seem like they're making any exception here for reboot, and they're just blanketly implementing it, which is just strange. But, you know, it's not like Nexon doesn't usually make strange decisions like that, but... so currently the route that creates the most amount of Mezzo in MapleStory is selling a crystal. Again, like this, so this, if this is true, and this is why you're doing all of this, in non-reboot, in KMS, like that's cool. But like immediately, if you look at GMS and you look at reboot, this is already not true. So like the reason for all of doing this, your baseline reasoning is immediately gone. So there's already like no need to like push it through anymore, right? Because like the percentage of Mezzo in reboot GMS that comes from power crystals, I would be surprised personally if it's more than 15%. I would be surprised. Maybe you could go up to 20, maybe, but like that's like max. Because even for me, and I think I make disproportionately way more money from crystals than anyone else, if I train regularly, I make like 50-50. So, yeah. But to go back to this, difficult growing characters to be strong enough to defeat bosses gradually decreased, while the price of the crystal stayed the same, which is which creates inflation, right? As a result, it was expected that the mezzos created would gradually increase, and we decided that it would be difficult to properly control mezzo inflation. Therefore, we have applied a system where the selling prices of the intense power crystals change dynamically by looking at the percentage of boss clears and the difficulty indicators from a certain period of time. In order to minimize the impact on the market, the changes in power crystal have been set to be within 3% per week. I heard some numbers. I don't see them here, but that the value of the crystals can go as low as 10% of the value, but as high as like 400% of the value, something like that. Which technically means if bosses aren't being killed that much, we could end up making even more in the week. But on bosses that are very easily accessible, like CRA and probably like up to Lotus and Damien, I guess. I think Lotus and Damien will be like the part where enough people kill it, but not that many, that it'll stay around the same. Everything above Lotus and Damien is probably going to go up over time, and everything below Lotus and Damien is probably going to go down. Probably with the exception of CPAP, because I don't think too many people, even if they can do CPAP, like enjoy doing it and therefore do it regularly. So I'm imagining that the characters with like very annoying mechanics or Lucid and above will probably relatively go up, but everything like CRA will probably tank like crazy. If people make like 12 CRA mules, the individual value per run for those characters will probably go down quite a bit. Omni clean meta. Yeah, like any kind of boss that gets untouched for a while might get like a decent crystal value, and then if people go do that boss because the value is good, then the value will drop again, and then another boss. So it will even out who does what content. But again, like the difference between reboot and non-reboot is huge here, and as a result, also the actions you should take, I think, are huge here. And the fact that they make zero distinction is kind of strange. Is just really weird. Like they're not aware that they have two different servers. Like they don't know that reboot exists or something. Do you guys see many bots in GMS? Do you mean non-reboot? Because in reboot, not really, no. There was a while, like very, very early this year, like January or February this year, it was crazy, but then they just like hard axed all of them. And now there's like almost none, I would say. Apparently bosses above Lotus Damien have their crystal value go up. Yeah. So I don't know exactly about those percentages, but I heard something like it could go down to 10% and up to 4 times the value. But so I don't know how. I don't have confirmation for that. Plus, it would take a while, right? Because it goes up 3% per week, like multiplicatively, but still, like 3% is a pretty minor change per week. They nerfed the efficiency of bots with the removal of EXP loss. Yeah, I think that was one of the major reasons why they implemented that as well. Not so much the bottlenecking of the content, but more like just to make it really annoying for bots. Because they would have to fund the bots like crazy to be able to keep training, or they would have to invest, well, that's the same thing, or they would have to like keep remaking them at a lower level at like way worse rates, which would just make it way more inconvenient. But, you know, it's still gonna happen, of course. Boss reorganization details. Yeah, so some extra stuff from bosses. New rewards have been added to normal, Lotus, and Damien. Powerful rebirth flame. Amazing, they added flames, guys. That's what we have to look forward to. An addition of the same drops we already have. Cool. Additional experience 50%. Remember that we are like in purgatory in between. We got the KMS changes. They were worse for us. Are they going to change anything else specifically for us to increase our access to cubes and flames, or just gonna wait until this stuff comes and then maybe it'll increase the drop rate or something? Like we're kind of like in the middle with GMS on where do we go. Are we like, because we were supposed to get better access, now we're back to the normal access. When did we get our buff? What did we get? You know, we're still kind of waiting for that. Additional experience 50% coupon voucher, sparkling blue and red star potions, and small experience accumulation potion, which gives 10% additional experience for 30 minutes. And large boss medal of honor, which gives 5k and is tradable. So you see that stuff, yeah, added to normal Lotus and Damien. New rewards for easy lucid, normal lucid, and normal will. Eternal flames, wow, amazing. You know, we don't have those yet. And the new items for normal gloom, normal dark now. Black rebirth flames, which is basically like an eternal where you can save the previous flame if you want. And hard Lotus, hard Damien, hard Lucid, hard Will have the unrelenting flames, which is a non-reboot thing. Non-reboot, 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 and Non-reboot. Okay. So we get nothing. And the rewards for Chaos, Gloom, Darknell, Verisilla, Black Mage, and Seren. Non-reboot, non-reboot, non-reboot. Primal Essences. You know, if there's anything we really need, is Primal Essences when we're clearing Verisilla. Because that is the drop. That is the drop we're waiting for. Kill Seren, get Primals. Of course, again, in reboot, it's kind of tragic. Non-reboot gets this stuff. We get Primals. Again, I guess reboot doesn't exist. Really just feels like we're like an afterthought at best. Like, oh, let's give them something, I guess. But again, this is tradable. This is for everyone, right? This is just not blocked in reboot. It's not like specifically added for reboot or anything. So it does feel kind of shitty, but... Again, game is balanced around KMS non-reboot, right? And we're GMS reboot. We're like 2 layers away, so we're just getting downstream whatever 10 mil mesopog, yeah. Meanwhile, the crystal is going up in like the order of hundreds of millions, billions for the Black Mage, and then the Primal Essence 10 mil drop with probably like a minor chance. But yeah, bosses drop strange additional cubes, so bonus potential cubes will no longer drop strange cubes. Bosses that drop large boss medals of honor will no longer drop boss medals of honor. Okay. The tap rate and max number is different per boss, based on boss, yeah. Item drop rate increasing effects do not apply to these items. Item drop rate items are planned to be changed with updates for a certain period of time. The additional 50% EXP is true. Used to acquire... Yeah, it's a coupon, yeah. And these are also coupons for scrolls. Existing boss rewards were not provided in proportion to their difficulty, and so a reverse phenomenon occurred in certain ranges. With this reorganization, various tradable consumable items and rare crafting materials have been added to boss rewards, and you can acquire more rewards as you face higher tier bosses. However, if a large number of tradable items were released at once, it could have a significant impact on the in-game economies, so the drop rate will be adjusted every update for a certain period of time. So they're like easing people into it. If the drop rates are changed, we'll notify you through the release notes at the time of the update. So again, very non-reboot centric, so as reboot we just have to kind of deal with this. Then this change, God, I hope they changed it a little bit since Cespia, because I kind of like it, but it doesn't go quite far enough in my opinion. But Absolab and Arcane Shade equipment items have been changed to drop as vouchers in a box. The following items will not be dropped instead of the previous Absolab and Arcane Shade equipment. You have an Absolab armor box, Absolab weapon box, Arcane armor box, and Arcane weapon box. Okay, so still shit. Again, for non-reboot, I can understand this, but for reboot, just give us one box that can have like anything in it, or give us like, or just make it drop coins, or make it drop like a piece of a box, and you need 2 if you want to get a weapon box, and 1 if you want to get an armor box or something. Just make it like a universal currency, because now if you get an armor box, like a weapon box drop, and you already have weapons, it's still fucking useless, and you can still just throw it away. But it could have also been like an armor, you know, like it just feels really bad being in my situation where there's like 5 backup weapons on one character and 4 backup weapons on my other character, and just 0 armors. If I could just trade a weapon in for an armor, which is only half the value on my DA, then my DA could be full arcane right now. But instead I just have 5 backup weapons in my inventory. And there's more people, right? Because there's way more bosses that drop weapons than drop all the other pieces, right? There's only half because they're not shared table. So you'll end up with just way more weapons at the end. Now they are changing the drop rate for the weapons and the armors respectively. But just any weapon is going to be too many. At least, yeah. Just having the full option, you know. And it's not like everyone's going to automatically pick the weapon. And if they do, it's only the first time. And then... But yeah, okay. Enough rant there. Drop rate in Absolabs and Arcane bugs has been adjusted. In regular words, the armor drop rate has been increased to higher than the existing armor drop rate. And the weapon box drop rate has been decreased to lower than the existing weapon drop rate. In Reboot, the armor box drop rate has been increased to higher than the existing drop rate. And the drop rate for the item equipment boxes will be higher for higher tier bosses. Yeah, I wonder if right now this is the case. If this is significant, then that will be a good change too. You know, like if you're killing Varusilla, you have a better chance of getting the drops from the Lucid shop than if you're killing Lucid herself. And if you're killing Black Mage, you should have a way better chance. But at the point where you're killing the Black Mage, you really need Arcane drops at that moment? I mean, maybe you're like 21 Arcane and you want to bump to 22 or something. But it's beneficial to get a weapon anyway because we do need the replacements for booms going to 22. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's ever worth going for 22 on a weapon. You go for 20 or 21, and then you just liberate and then go for the Genesis. I don't think going for 22 weapon is ever worth your money. Seems a very inefficient way of using your resources. Like, you can if you want to, but I think it's very inefficient. It's like very high chance of booming for no functional gain. If you can't do it with 21 weapon and everything else, like, switching just the weapon from 21 to 22 isn't going to open any new content. That's too fickle of a, or like too small of a range to make any significant difference. Absolutely, Arcane Shade equipment items had a large variation in acquisition experience based on what armor pieces and weapon types dropped. Yeah, I've probably joined about 40 Hardamian runs on my mules. Didn't get a single piece on any character ever. Pretty cool. Meanwhile, everyone else gets a drop every single. Through this reorganization, we expect that the reward experience will be equalized by changing it so that you can exchange for any equipment. Yeah. But you can't exchange it for any equipment. It's still separate in boxes. If it was really any equipment and you have to just pay double for a weapon, like get double the items for a weapon and single for an armor, I would be in favor of that. But just like one unified currency, not two boxes. But okay, I already said that 16 times. In addition, for the existing weapon and armor drop rates, they were not set based on value or demand. So for armor, we have changed them to drop more than before, and for weapons, we have changed them to drop less than before. Okay. Yeah, how it all works with like the drop rate and supply and demand in non-reboot, I'm not like 100% sure. But what this does mean for non-reboot though, is that the value of all of the weapons is going to go closer together, right? Because now if somebody gets a shitty weapon and they can't make any money off of selling it, they'll just lower the price, lower the price, lower the price. And if you're playing an unpopular class, you'll be able to just... you'll be able to get your weapons super cheap, right? But what'll happen is if everyone gets the weapon boxes, oh, now everyone is just going to pick whatever weapon is worth the most and is just going to sell that one, which I think is the fan by quite a bit in non-reboot, and then the Adele, the caster or whatever it's called, right? Second. So that price is going to start dropping like crazy because the supply is going to increase. So what will happen is that you'll get the lower prices coming up and the higher prices going down, and you'll start somewhat equalizing. So, you know, again, I already said it's like 3 weeks ago, but buy out those very cheap weapons because those are going to go up in value quite a bit, and sell off your higher tier weapons like your fans and your blade casters early. Of course, you still have like 6 months or so before this hits GMS, so it's not like immediate, but as soon as that starts rolling, it's going to start going real quick, and people will preemptively kind of like, the price might yo-yo a little bit, let's just say that, for like the next few months, with people anticipating it, the price dropping a little bit too fast, people buying them all up because everyone's buying them up, the price actually going up too high, people not buying them anymore. It'll like yo-yo up a little bit, but they'll gradually, the prices will go closer together. Yeah, in addition, for the existing weapons and armor drop rates, they were not set based on the value or demand. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. I've changed it to drop less than before. Yeah. Okay. This is the set bonuses. Absolute and Arcane set bonus, the set effect has been changed. Yeah, we already saw that. Cool beans. Yeah, we already saw that. Gratis gehoortest. Oh shit. We have a black box and a whitey box. Cursed Spellbook and Mitra's Rage items have been improved to be dropped as vouchers. So this is for the Spellbook from Hard Will, and this is for the emblem from Chosen Saren. So you'll just get a box, double click it, and then you can pick which one you want from the box to increase the chance that if it's your turn to loot, that you can loot it and then get whichever one you need. In Reboot World, you can only select the Mitra's Rage that matches your character's job. Like before the update, Reboot World's increased boss equipment drop rate effect applies to these items. Again, every single time this gets mentioned, people are like, oh, drop rate does work. Oh, we have to use wealth and greed potion. No, Reboot World's increased boss equipment drop rate. That's this. That's this. Increases meso obtained by 6, increases boss equipment drop rate. Actually, it doesn't increase the meso obtained by 6x. It increases it by 5x to 6x, but you know, we're not gonna get into that shit again. But it increases boss equipment drop rate. That's the thing that works on the pieces, right? That's the thing they're referring to. They're not referring to drop rate equips. If everyone's switching to the drop rate equips at the end of boss, it's not for this. It's for things like soul shards, mainly for soul shards. And maybe for some like flames and cubes and that kind of stuff, you know? Like before the update, item drop rate increasing effects do apply to these items. Wait, what is this part? Fuck, maybe I did miss it. Did I mess up? Like before the update. But I thought there was none that did, though. Does anyone have the clarification? Do we have to reread it? I believe it said that there was no other source that worked. And if it's still like before... Now it looks dubious, yeah. Because it was like before, item drop rate does not affect these. So drop rate confirmed works on hard boss. I don't think we'll ever get like a straight answer. Because clearly drop rate doesn't work, right? Because there are some items and people have been running with full drop rate for years and have never seen one. And other people have seen like... So, like... You can't have a sample size that big and have such huge outliers if it is affected by drop rate. It's not possible, right? To have some people... Max commented below? Okay. Well, this is from Max though, right? Yeah, okay. But another Max comment below. The Cursed Spellbook and Mitra's Rage items included in the Pitch Boss accessory set had different jobs and main stats. Yeah, we know that. For Rewood World, it was a big problem because it couldn't be traded. Solve the problems. We had to go. Yeah, okay. Cool. And then we have some user list and a free ear test again. Item acquisition permission setting. Yeah, so you can set it so that only the leader of the party can loot. So if you have a loot rotation, you can just turn whoever gets to loot that week into the leader of the party, and then they get to loot, and then you don't get people accidentally looting their shit, basically, if you turn this on. It is now a use item, so now group... Right, because it changes into a use item, maybe. If that makes the percentages work, then it should like greatly increase the supply, though, compared to it being an equip. Well, let's... He commented below, like all the way below. Dude, this is a long ass patch now. Drop. Regarding this, like before the update, item drop increasing effects to apply these items for items like pocket items. As far as I know, GMS they say item drop rate doesn't affect item drop rate. Update right now will be a voucher equals use item drop rate effect. What does it say that KMS is never set otherwise? And these patch notes imply that they have always been affected by drop rate. Just the drop rate doesn't affect arcane equips. We know guarantee that they don't affect Arcane and Absolab. That's been specifically mentioned a few times in updates. Rookies effects will not apply to Absolab equipment or Arcane Shade equipment. I don't know what part is mentioned pitch set, but at least people say that they're included with the Boss Arcane. It's also possible that they're like, yeah, 0.00001% and they are affected, but that makes it 0.0001%. It's like it doesn't really go up in any way, in any significant way. It's still like rare as fuck. That's possible. Then you can still get that very wide disparity, of course. Some kind of the boss set and will pocket item with it not affected by drop. From your patch note, at least the arcane gear patch apps of arcane shit equipment have never been affected by drop rate and still are not. Yeah, for Dark Boss said they never said if it was or wasn't, but these patch notes say the new spellbook Meteor Rage boxes are affected by drop rate, so we can imply that drop rate does and always has affected Dark Boss items. I can't see that being real. Like, I've done 260 hard will runs where everyone has drop rate on before I saw my first book. Like, what percentile of lucky is that then? If actually the whole time the drop rate was actually working. I think it's something else. I think it's like before the update, item drop rate increasing effect do apply to these items, and by these items they mean coupons and vouchers that drop from a boss. Like coupons and vouchers had drop rate applied to it before and have it applied to after, and since it is one of those, it stays increased. That's how I read it, and not that because they're vouchers now and they're increased, that therefore when they were equips before they was also increased. I don't read it as that, but but yeah, that's like biased reading, I guess, because of my personal experience, so I could be wrong, but given the rarity, and it's like with pep marks as well, right? Like they always get thrown into the same bunch, like all of the pitch boss pieces and the arcane pieces and the abso pieces and the pep marks. They all get added into the same pile of, okay, we increased the drop rate for all of these items because it's too low. And I don't know, it's pretty... I think there's some significance there that they do get treated like the same type, but maybe not. Maybe we're just inferring, but, you know, until we get it 100% confirmed, it's very difficult to... Because a lot of this game is just, like, hidden behind the code, and we just have to kind of figure it out or kind of just, yeah, draw inference from experience. Just give us a fucking drop table. That would be nice. That would be really nice. Okay, item acquisition permission setting. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. You can set it from all to party leader. You can check the party's current permission settings at the bottom right of the UI. When the party's permission setting is changed, a notification will be output on a system message. Items dropped as individual rewards can be acquired regardless of the party setting. Of course, removing boss setting will problems between players in the process of acquiring and distributing items dropped and shared rewards. I feel like other games have better fixes for this. Like every single MMO has like raids and items and people who want to get items, and I feel like every other game has probably a better solution than this. Well, you would technically always swap, yeah. You just want more. You want more other drops. You want all of the other drops that are affected by drop rate more. People there are stuck in 2003. Feels bad, man. Rework World, the selling price of intense power crystals has been changed to 5x the price of regular worlds. Nice. Worded it properly. Good. The weekly limit of intense power crystals sold to the collector has been changed from 60 per character to 180 per world. Again, this is like very heavily a non-reboot move. Although 180 per world is a lot. It is a lot of bossing to sell 180 or more per week. And if you're doing that, you're probably selling a lot of the dailies that are very, very useless anyway. The existing 60 per character limit did not function practically as a reward acquisition limit. Did it not? Since you're increasing boss rewards, we will set up a new upper limit and proceed with the boss reward reorganization. As a result of checking the accounts, which recently sold intense power crystals, we confirm that only 2.68% of them sold more than 180 per week, so we expect that most players' experience will not change. So there's people who are going super hard. Again, these people probably, a lot of the ones that they sold are probably like doing regular Root Abyss a bunch of times, and that's like 4 crystals. That could be like 30 per week already on one character, right? So you just don't sell the very weak ones anymore. The Burning World command, ! Events, has links to all of the ongoing events, including a link directly to Burning World. Since Burning World only links to non-reboot, we don't really do much with that because I'm reboot-centric stream. Existing boss rewards have been changed as shown below. The following boss rewards have been removed. All items that we did not have. Basic Soul Enchanter gone. Oh my god. Advanced additional potential stamp. Regular weapons and armors? No! I'll have an easier time looting everything. Wealth acquisition potions? No! And experience accumulation potions. Okay, but this is a KMS thing. So that's probably not going to happen to the JMS bosses, right? They're probably still going to drop them. So which bosses does this affect? Arc, Pink Bean. Does Cygnus sometimes drop them? No, Cygnus doesn't. Ramaru does, right? So I guess Ramaru still gets them? Maybe sometimes? And silver potential stamps and reboot? Wow. What the fuck is Patience Potion? It's one of those special potions. I don't know, this is like the KMS or the Maple Sea translation. I'm not sure which one that is. Following quest rewards have been changed from individual rewards to shared rewards. Potential... Oh, occult cubes? Nice. So now everyone can yoink my occult cubes too. Cool. Low level rebirth flames, nice. And enhanced soul enchanter, cool. Following boss rewards have been changed from shared to individual. Medals of honor, finally. Boss medal of honor, finally. Zakum's soul fragment. Hilla's soul fragment. Papalatus' soul fragment. Wait, these weren't individually? Okay. Zakum's arm voucher. The Zakum certificate, Papalatus certificate, and Piata certificate will no longer drop. These have not dropped in reboot in years, but... No more wealth acquisition potion. No, best change ever. For boss rewards, we want to keep the total amount of rewards as equal as possible, regardless of the method of fighting the boss or the number of party members. Therefore, we want to keep certain rewards like soul fragments, equipment exchange materials, nodes, gem, cosmetic items as individual rewards, and change the rest to shared rewards. For items that were dropped as shared rewards, if it was more appropriate to have them be individual like honor, we have changed them accordingly. Nice. What about the Silent Crusade? Tijd om naar uzelf te luisteren. Wow. The experience of acquiring reward points after defeating bosses have been improved. The amount of reward points acquired has been changed based on the clear limits. Daily bosses gives you 30, weekly gives you 200, and monthly 1000. Together with the changes, you can also have a daily limit from 5,000 up to 10,000. And if you just double click, you can get them all in one time. There was was that not here? Was that previously already? Where you just like double click and you get them all at once, and you don't have to click for every individual one. I don't see that written here now. I hope that that still goes through. Spring Project. You can now see all of the mobs in the map as giant red dots in Monster Park. And they changed the pathing as well in some of the maps. Pets now have 2 buffs for auto buff. It says so that they can use 2 buff skills. And now I'm not 100% if giving pet buff means that you automatically get 2 or you can use the skill twice. I know for existing, they changed it so that it becomes 2. I think you just get 2 by allowing your pet to use buffs, I think. But Burning Stage maintain fail time has been changed from 10 PM 8 AM. I have asked Ghibli if this is a thing for us. She has not gotten back to me, but as far as she knew, it's not a thing in GMS that there's like a limit to maintaining during the night or something. 2 auto buffs, that means if I ever come back, I can play Lumi again. Lumi, a lot of the buffs actually have become passive as well. It doesn't nearly have as many buffs anymore. And I think in the next, partially the next the skill rework, it's gonna get 2 more passives, I believe. You think this is a thing, Smedley? Okay, then Jet. Jet has a lot. Yeah, true. New hyperstat for regular damage. Damage to regular monsters has been added. Gives 3% damage per level up to 5, and then 4 per level after that. So it's the same as boss damage, but just doesn't work on boss damage, of course. If you want to boost your visual range by a lot, you want to put stats in this, because damage to normal monsters does go into your visual damage range, even though it doesn't apply to bosses, which is really cool. Another reason why you can't trust your damage range for shit. And goes up to 55% at level 15. But the main thing is that we have presets. And switching between presets is 2 mil instead of 10 mil right now when having to click everything. So making a preset for mobbing, for bossing, maybe for different types of bosses, you can have 3 presets per character. This is huge and really, really useful. And this should have been in the game 4 years ago, but you know, the more you know, I guess. Hyperstat presets, yeah, so 3 presets, 2 mil, and when you reset the hyperstats, only your current selected presets will be reset, not all of them, thank God. But yeah, that's... I hope that within like 2 years we get presets for everything, but this is like... this is one good step in the right direction. Can pets auto buff 5th job skills? They can... yes. Yeah, you see the like decent skills, yeah. The fact that they can auto buff decent skills is something that's already on the way. That's something that we'll probably get next month. So they'll either be able to buff macros, I believe. No, not macros, because macros could also have attacking skills, and I didn't want the pets to buff attacking skills. So that's why they haven't done that yet. No, that was in the part of the suggestions, no. But they could do decent skills or normal skills. So, but then with this update, they'll be able to do 2 skills per character. So with characters with a lot of buffs that you don't want to have to constantly be redoing. What up, Mosquito Daily? How you doing? Come back, you won't. Do it. Either equip presets or just a box at the end of every boss. Both is fine with me. Yeah. Yeah, not having a box with some bosses is a little bit strange, and then needing to switch. But even the box is a little weird, because if someone accidentally leaves a skill on and it automatically kills it, not ideal. Okay. Moving on. Metal requirement for certain areas. The monster collection has been changed. Literally, no one cares about any of these metals. They're all useless. Monster collection expedition box is now storageable. Equips items from the boxes are storageable. The cool potential stems 50% epots and 50% additional potential score. I actually get the 50% epots quite a bit, so making those transferable is kind of nice. Okay, these are some crazy sets. Wait, this is a 24-hour set? Okay. This is some crazy sets that this guy has, okay. Expedition cancel feature has been added, that if you click the wrong one, you can just cancel it prematurely. And automatic screenshot feature when registering a monster in the monster collection has been added. If you set the automatic screenshot feature in options to be off, it will not work. That's crazy. If anything, I will turn this on so that I can see if I took a screenshot to know that I add a monster. Because if I'm looking at my chat and reading, I usually miss it whenever I add monsters to the collection, and I have to double check every 5 minutes. If instead I can do screenshots to like a folder, and I can just have the folder open and see if a new screenshot is in there, then I'll know automatically if if I actually added a monster. But that's hashtag just streamer things, okay? Crossful PQ monsters can now be registered in the monster collection. Wow, that's amazing. In the auction house, if you have items that can be relisted, it'll relist them all at once. Nice. You can use up to 5 chair and title bags and wallets at the same time. Cool beans. Oh, this is like a... like giving you your trade card, you know? And this blue thing you saw in the video as well, when they were switching into the drop gear. So that's the sort locking feature, so you can right click and then you see a little lock below it, and that means that if you do sorting in your inventory, that the items don't go flying all over the place, so that's good. And if you equip it and then unequip the item again, it'll still keep the previous lock function, which means that in the beginning it didn't do that, so now it does that, thank God. In the world map, a bookmarks feature has been added. You can register maps and bookmarks, and if you click them, their location will be displayed directly on the world map, and you can register up to 30 bookmarks. This is kind of like saving maps in your teleport rock, but to walk to them instead of teleport, I guess. So, I mean, okay. And then finally, after how many years? After 5 years plus, during the Grandest Arcane Stone quest, you can now move to fight a special instance version of Magnus by talking to the Grandest Goddess. So even if you already did Magnus that day, guys, you can still kill this special Magnus and then go forth with 5th job, and you don't have to wait until reset or beg for a hard Magnus carry, okay? You can now see the chairs that other people are sitting on. I don't care. I don't care. The Dream Key has been removed from Cygnus entry requirements. The boss move system will now move you directly to Cygnus Garden. Cool shit. After you defeat a boss, you can now use the exit portal by pressing the up arrow on them instead of, you know, instead of if you press up during the fight, it's not going to do anything. But you can press up when the fight is over, when the boss is dead. Oh yeah. Also, this is a thing that's coming for us. Like, equipments are going to have their icon enlarged by a lot. We don't have that change yet, but this is how huge equipment is going to be when that change happens. It's like it's going to make the boss crystals look small, you know? The penalty duration for the character that dies has been decreased. Yeah, so character below level 200, it's a fixed 5 minutes. And if you're 200 or higher, it will be anywhere from 10 minutes to 60 minutes, depending on your level. Again, with any of these things, go into Cash Shop, buy a Safety Charm, and get rid of it, okay? The VACPAT range downward was increased by 200 pixels. So that's pretty big, so that you can loot drops below you more easily and not have to go all the way down to be even more lazy with the VACPAT. Again, of course, VACPAT's not released, not announced whatsoever for GMS yet. It's still something that we're just, you know, we have to wait if we're getting that at all, and if so, when. So this is the Morass extra daily for an extra 6 symbols a day, very similar to what's it called, like Urda Spectrum. There's going to be like an indicator here. You can see a red dot. You can see a red Bosman indicator here. You run to that side. You shoot like a big laser. Like you kill monsters that give you energy, and then with the energy you can fire the laser, and then with the laser you can destroy the little robots, and then the more of them you kill, you know, you finish it, and you're like, oh, you saved the meme, and if you save the meme, you get 2 symbols. Wow, huge. So more daily, 3 times per character, up to 6 total symbols extra per day. And then for Esfera, you have a similar thing. You go kill monsters, you build up points, and then with the points you can fire missiles. And then with you have to angle the missile, either do like a straight line or like a little bit angled, or like a laser beam and shit. One costs 1 point, one costs 3 points. You know, these are like the points bar that you build up, and then you have to try to get rid of all of these spots, which are represented by red dots here in the map. This seems pretty tedious, so don't like stop doing your daily now because you're gonna get another daily. Just make sure you don't have to do this too much. From what I've seen, this is pretty boring. And both of these things are solo, by the way. Like, you can't go in a party. You have to solo both of these. So in that sense, it's not like Urda Spectrum, where you can just like do it as 2 or 3 man and it's like pretty simple. You have to do it solo. You can only enter alone. So yeah, so that's the thing. Cool. Achievements, no one cares. Skill changes. Pathfinder uses Cardinal Torrent in the opposite direction of the way they are facing while using certain skills. It has been improved so that they are moved in the opposite direction. Amazing. Lion's Explosion attack has been improved so that it hits all at once without any delay intervals. That's nice if you want to clear the clown pre-split when you have enough damage and you want to kill him in pink phase and you don't have to wait. Adele Ether Crystals have been improved so that they are not affected by skill effect transparency. I wish they were affected by it a little bit. I want to have them not unaffected by it, and also not completely affected by it, right? I don't want them invisible when I want everything else to be invisible, because I want to be able to see them, but I don't want to be able to see them fully, because that is a bit too much. I don't know. It feels like you need 2 sliders per character or something, but yeah, it's a tricky one. But I guess these are going to have full visibility now. Lara Skill, where the river flows, Free Dragon Vein, and the Vine Coil Vine Coil were changed. These last 2, they changed the level requirements from 140 to 160 and 160 to 140. They switched these over. Probably to help the mobbing a little bit earlier, I'm guessing. Maybe the bossing, actually, because of the Free Dragon Vein. And this is just like a fix, functional fix. Then monsters, they changed the crack on the ground. You see that? Beautiful, right? When the dimension collapse pattern activates, if you're soloing the boss, it has been improved so that you can attack the watching eye in the same dimension you are in to cause the moonlight orbs and black orbs to fall. So you don't have to have something on the other side or save an iframe or something. You just hit the thing in the middle and you'll get the same orbs. This is a picture from like before the phase change, of course. So you inquire about Night Lord and Shadower Dark Flare being installed in one dimension, but it would disappear and the orbs would not. Is that really the problem? Is it really Night Lords and Shadowers who are having a problem, not every other class who doesn't even have a summon? Is not a skill disappearing issue. When both Will and the Watching Eye were in the Dark Flare's range, it could only attack one enemy, so it appeared to be of no use since it was hitting Will instead of the Eye. Nice. This wasn't a problem with Dark Flare itself, but we determined that the pattern that could not be defeated without having certain types of skills was somewhat unreasonable. I like that. Almost taking responsibility. It was somewhat unreasonable. So we want to improve Will's pattern, so they did that. Beautiful. And Hard Lucid has been improved so that when entering Phase 3, any patterns that we're about to activate will disappear. You know, Dragon Beam going through your face while you're trying to burst is a little bit annoying, so just let Dark Flare hit 3 to 5 more. Yeah, just let it hit more. In Hungry Mudo, the monster ingredient drop rate have been changed to be the same. Does it mean they all went up or all went down? That's for us to find out later, but they are now the same at least. I hope they're all at the level of the banana peels or of the blue catfish or the green catfish. Not all at the level of the shark talons, because oh my god, those are bad. A transparent weapon for all jobs has been added to the cash shop. You can buy it and equip it over all weapons except for the kataras. Oh no, the blades? I think that's kataras, right? To be transparent, the transparent claw, knuckle, gauntlet, revolver has been removed from sale in the cash shop to not bait anyone. Okay, now you just buy the universal transparent weapon, so you can also transfer it to any other character and then wear it there if you want to. Potential stats, the rates of certain potential stats have been changed. Right, so they moved the potential stats around. Again, this is we already went over this in the test PL patch notes. They changed the value no more to change the rates of something appearing no more than 10%. In the set rates for each stat, the critical damage plus percentage stat was displayed as 2, but they have been combined into 1. Right, because there used to be minimal critical damage and max critical damage a long time ago. Thank God we got out of that one. So that's now consolidated into one line. So the things that they changed, these stats will no longer appear when using Red, Black, Craftsman, and Meister Cubes. Unique will no longer have 20% boss damage. All skill levels plus 1 or 2. All skill levels plus 2 or 3 in Legendary. Legendary will no longer have elemental resistance plus 10%, and Legendary will no longer have status resistance plus 10. Following stats have been increased when using Red, Black, Craftsman, and Meister Cubes. 30% boss on Unique instead. You know, so it's just caked on. Basically, the chance for 20% is just caked on to 30%. The following stats will no longer appear when using additional cubes, so the bonus potential cubes. On Unique, 4% elemental resistance. On Legendary, 5% elemental resistance, all skill plus 2, and status resistance plus 5. I think bonus potential is already a nightmare, so this is probably good news for non-reboot people. 40% on Legendary? No. The one thing is, though, that they did not... So yeah, it has improvement. Less useful stats, which were mentioned at the conference, such as plus skill levels, have been removed. Instead of removing the 20% damage when attacking boss monster line, we have moved a certain portion of the rate assigned to it to 30% boss damage when attacking boss monster line. As a result, the rate of getting 30% damage when attacking boss monsters has been increased by 2.5% points based on unique weapons, or unique lines, I guess. 35 is still a thing? Yeah, 35 is pretty good. It's better than 30. All decent skill lines have been grouped, and the limit has been set that you can only get one decent skill line per group. So if you have a 8% critical damage and decent sharp eyes and speed infusion glove, that's going to become a legacy item. I don't see it mentioned here specifically. But from what I remember reading last time is that they're not going to change existing 20% boss lines into 30% boss lines. Those are going to stay. But if you re-roll it, after this update, you won't be able to re-roll into 20% boss. That line won't exist anymore as a unique line, at least. Quests, Lechaline symbol. Oh yeah, the kill quests in Lechaline from 4 to 8. Tenebrous investigation. The mission to clear the labyrinth dungeon will no longer appear because it's crazy. Okay. The UI is gonna take the buff freezer. Wait, when you revive and deciding whether to use a buff freezer or not, the checkbox click area has been changed to the button to reduce confusion. Right. I mean, it's more confusing because we're used to what it is now. But you like click, yes, I want to use a buff freezer when I revive, and then you can still click revive when you want to. And this option will get saved based on your previous answer. Transferring items with the 0 weapon growth process, the checkbox description has been updated to include the Star Force is also transferred. Beautiful. You can now buy from event shops multiple items at the same time. Crazy! Imagine not having to buy every single thing one at a time, guys. This is crazy. This is the future. The future will be upon us in the future. In 6 months from now, the future still. But in 6 months, the future will be the past. You still with me? Okay. And it will also be now. Then. So, in the future. In the coin shops, with crafting memes. Profession UI size has been changed so that the names of the craftable items and the number of items that can be crafted are output normally. Beautiful. In the guild introduction and guild BS, you can... If you include any inappropriate words... Ooh, I'm writing a post. Pop-up window will now be output that shows you which content was detected as inappropriate and urge you to change it. Monster Life, don't care, etc. NPC shops, limit, sure. You can no longer change maps while using black cubes, black flames, everything. Okay, cool. Error fixes. Skill fixes, error fixes. You can no longer use noblesse skills set to hotkeys and Ursus. Wait, people did that? You used noblesse skills in Ursus with hotkeys? Wait, you can set noblesse skills to hotkey? Oh, this is mind-blowing. Okay. Crest of the Solar Flames emblem will no longer disappear even after changing maps. Yeah, that probably shouldn't happen. After Ice Mage, after using teleport, the frozen ground was installed in awkward locations. Alright, these are just like minor fixes. Using Crystal Ignition and Glory Wings mode, sometimes reaction spectrum's number of hits displayed on the client would vary based on the network status. Ooh. In existing specifications, it was only the number displayed on the client that was higher than the real number of hits, so the actual specifications have not changed. Okay, but something with crystalline wings if you're an Ilium. Read up on that one. Okay. Monsters. Awkward monsters. Fix an issue in Lucid where during certain patterns you would sometimes split into 2. Cool, that is a thing. There is sometimes 2 Lucids in a map, and it's really weird, especially if one is doing lasers and the other one throws sickles at you at the same time. It's kind of yikes. Map changes. You can now open the Legion UI in Arcarium's boss entry maps. Yay! Amazing. That's the thing in general that they opened before, though, that you can open the Legion UI also in places where you cannot teleport away from it. You just won't be able to teleport to it, you know? Oh, speaking of which, I still have to do that. Haven't done Legion yet. Legion dailies, dude. Give me those coins. What the? Monster collection rewards? Fuck. Nope, 1. There you go. Fixes. Quest. When a sudden mission appears, it will no longer have mission related to Pollo and Frito or Flame Wolf portals if you have already used up your daily limit. That is something that should have been implemented immediately. UI fixes, etc., small things. When you reconnect by changing to a different character, you will now connect to the channel that you last disconnected from. That's pretty big, because sometimes you were in a map and you don't remember what channel you're in. If you log into your character, it'll automatically take you back to the channel you were in. There's probably a few situations where you don't want that to happen, but probably way more situations where you do want that to happen. So in general, I think that's probably an okay thing. KMS version 1, minor update. Ooh, Guardian Slime related errors have been fixed. Okay, so there were some memes going on with him. The first update, you would be recognized as being in combat only when certain skills were activated and not during their active durations. But after the update, an error occurred where you would be recognized as being in combat during their active durations. This was an unintended issue that occurred while fixing a skill error, and we have returned it to its previous specifications. We apologize. Okay. Okay. The logic was changed so that regular dark sight and shadow jumps activated dark sight, jump dark sight would be incompatible to fix an error where if you used regular dark sight during jump dark sight, its duration would be applied as 2 seconds. However, unintentionally in situations where you needed to use dark sight, it became inconvenient to have to wait until jump dark sight's duration ended, and you could no longer use rapid evasion while using rapid throw together with dark sight. Okay, yeah. We'll be reverting these changes to the previous specifications as the new issues that occurred were more inconvenient to players than the existing bug. The new bug was buggier than the old bug, so we traded in the new bug back for the old bug to be less buggy. Darkside related logic will be comprehensively corrected in the next update. Cool. What up, Hubga? How you doing? Okay, some more small changes. Bruh. Another minor update. No, wait, this is the same thing. Oh. If you used 50% Twilight Epic Potential Scroll at Twilight, there was a chance for second and third lines to have potential lines only found in rare tier additional potential. That's some weird stuff. An error occurred where the cost when changing hyperstat presets, since hyperstat presets don't need to be changed frequently. I mean, depends. The amount of mesos not deducted due to this error was not very big. Therefore, instead of doing a detailed investigation to recover the mesos which were not deducted, we will provide a change for all players that lets them use hyperstats presets for free, no cost when changing them for 1 week starting from this. It's too much trouble to figure out how much we have to give back or how much people were robbed, so just use it for free for a week, okay? I mean, that's probably better use of their resources than to go investigate that shit. Alright, coupons, NX. Everyone looks like an anemic cancer patient going on a picnic. Amazing. Make sure you have no blood in your face whatsoever. Alright, influencer Pink Bean. Quest, Maple Esports, Shaolin Soccer, Maple Soccer. It's literally like soccer. Nice. Oh my god, if we can play football. Oh my god, what is this? I want to kick the ball. Balls are the size of people. I don't care. When you enter game, players will be split into red and blue team. The colors of your character name, HP bar, and skills will match your team. You can move your character using up, down, left, right arrow keys. If your character touches the soccer ball, you will begin to move with the ball. You can press the Alt key to quickly dash in the direction you're moving in. If you collide with an enemy during the dash, you will tackle them and prevent them from moving for 2 seconds. Oh, shit. All of our skills are going to come to fruition, finally, guys. Time for some soccer. You can kick the ball in a certain direction by pressing the control and arrow keys together. You can kick the ball further by holding down the control key. If you kick the ball into the enemy's net, you will get 10 individual points. That is crazy. Receive game points. Oh my god, look at that chair. It says mom. Wait, what? Why does the trophy say mom on it? I don't know. Is it like an abbreviation for something in Korean? Master of Maple or something? Master of Maple Soccer? Man of the match? Oh, man of the match? I mean, that would be MOTM, wouldn't it? Why is the O abbreviated but the T isn't? Mom got the camera, yeah. More like mom got the camera. Hey, look, a giant chair with a face. Do you think the face is gonna be like completely black and then floating here one time? Maple is a mama boy. Maple variety terrain mastery. I think we saw some videos of people doing this, right? You get like you get an assignment and then you have to go to the right area to get the right rewards. Load them up in your train, get points quickly. Apparently, if you are with a team and everyone knows what they're doing and does this quickly, you can get insane amounts of experience in a short amount of time. But of course, you have a limited amount of entries that you can do, like a limited amount of times when you get points for it. But you can get some crazy amounts of experience. 1 year later, fixed an issue where the T was not in the abbreviation. 1 year later, added the chair to add the T to man of the match. Yeah, so, well, I think we watched this already last time, but like, so you have like your assignment here and what you need to get. So you're like waiting for the fish right here. See, someone has 2 fish, someone has a fish. Oh no, you can see what they have. So you have to go to the right path. It's a little bit RNG as well, right? Because of the rewards that are in there. Yeah. Looks kind of interesting. This man gives a lot of experience in a small amount of work. Level 230 is 3.3 bill experience. Level 240 is 3.8. Level 250 is 4.5. Level 260 is 13.5. Level 280 is 25.7. Level 284, 27.1 billion experience. Again, this is like a huge clump nominally, but like in terms of the percentage you need to do anything, it's not, you know, as crazy. But with how much time you need to train and everything, and you want to do something else sometimes, it's reasonable. It's a good reasonable amount. Special dance chemistry. I think this is just kill 500 monsters. Oh, this is kill monsters near your level kind of thing. The dance chemistry will begin for 30 seconds. Oh my god. And then we dance around. Cash transfer event. And Sunny Sundays. And bilan auditif. Bilan auditif gratuit. I guess I didn't reply to the Dutch one, so they give us in French. Venez essayer gratuitement nos aides auditives invisibles dans un centre auditif amplifiant près de chez vous. Oh, merci beaucoup. So we are looking at a lot of stuff here. It's a lot of fixing and a lot of quality of life stuff. I feel like the last 3 patches have all been just quality of life stuff from KMS. But hey, if our quality of life goes up in general, like, I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, it's mainly the slime boss events and then a whole lot of fixes for stuff that are cool. So what is your favorite thing? I think the thing I like the most about this, I think, is this one, dude. The hyperstep preset. That is some good ass shit. That saves me a lot of time. It's just a click. I don't really care about the 2 mil or the 10 mil or any of that. It's just having the presets. I think that's the one I like the most. The boss crystal change from 5 to 3. We'll really have to see how that's going to change and how that value is going to be maintained or drop or increase. What kind of numbers they're using there. Because that's going to be projecting some KMS data onto GMS most likely. So how that's going to work for us is going to be very interesting, right? Those parameters of whether it has to go up or down, those are going to be based on KMS numbers. So how that's going to affect us in GMS is going to be interesting to see. So, you know, before you go super hard investing in bossing mules, I mean, you could do it, but then depending on which value changes and how the value changes of the boss crystals, that's going to determine where you want to be doing the bossing mainly. I think what's going to go up a lot is the bosses with high, just more high skill checks, right? So either annoying bosses or high skill check ones. So like Akechi, very annoying. Chaos Pepilatus, annoying and pretty high skill check. And then probably C-Vel and up, I'm guessing, is probably going to go slightly up in value. And then 3-door and down will probably go down in value, I'm guessing. That would be my guess. But we'll have to wait and see, right? So yeah. What did you like the most? What are you looking forward to the most? Again, this is 6 months away, so don't get too excited, but get a little bit excited. And yeah, I'll see you in comments and everything. And I'll see you on the next video later. All right? Bye. Almost timed it with the sound. There we go. Beautifully